Hello, everyone! Gia Glitch, or Gia Dweeb, excuse me, Gia Dweeb, Konostal Shiv. It's the day after St. Patrick's Day, which means it's still St. Patrick's Day week. So it's time to drink whiskey. And I am joined by a wonderful, amazing person, great friend of the channel. Who are you, Cliff?
I'm Clifton from Bourbon Bytes. I don't know why I had a weird Southern accent there. I was gonna say I didn't know the Irish. I was like, I'm 7% Irish. Okay, I'm not. I don't understand what you're saying, but I'm gonna roll it.
No one does. I don't even understand what I'm saying most of the time.
I've been looking forward to doing this stream with you for so
long. Thank you, everybody who's already in. I'm seeing quite a few wonderful faces. Cheech is here. Good to see you, Cheech. He just started his own channel, Whiskey Encore. If you're not subscribed over there, Cheech, feel free to throw a link in the chat for everybody so they can go subscribe to you over there because we want to support you because you're awesome. Sugar Kitty, who's apparently her leprechaun name tonight is Silly O'Groton.
I love it.
I'm more of a Claricon myself, which is the drunken booze-stealing version of a leprechaun, which is fun. And let's see who else. Gary White, he's almost recovered from St. Pat's, so he is going to drink more bourbon. Cool. I support that choice. Tom Lynch, my man Tom Lynch, good to see you. Spencer, he was suggesting Tater O'Groton. That's a good name. Tater O'Groton. That's cute. Robotic, my man Robot Devil, good to see you. Whiskey Mountains, go check out Whiskey Mountains on Instagram. I'm pretty sure that's where that is. So go check out.
She has a YouTube channel too. Adriana has a YouTube channel too. So
she has a YouTube channel. I thought that was only Instagram. Never mind. Go check out Whiskey Mountains on YouTube.
Yeah, it's a really cool channel, and she's a good friend of the show too. So.
Also, Adriana was saying she's leaving drums and drams, so she had to lower the volume. Yeah, I'm pretty loud. Sorry about that. And yeah. And Bubble Bath is here too. He says Claricon. Yeah, the Claricon mythology is hilarious. They're like leprechauns, except they live in your wine cellar. And if you keep them fed, if you feed them well, they will plug up your barrels in case anything gets uncorked or like your wine or whatever, so that it doesn't oxidize. But if you don't keep them fed and you insult them, they'll drag you down into the wine cellar and beat you with a length of chain.
Good to know. I gotta keep an eye out for those pesky buggers.
Because folklore is always weird.
Absolutely.
All right. So for those of you who don't know, right now, obviously, we're on this channel. But after we're done here, we're going over to Clifton's channel. And we're going to go and do a bunch of fun stuff over there. It's a Red Breast night.
Wait, spoiler. Did I tell them?
It's Red Breast night.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think there's any problems with telling them. And we're doing it blind. And I really liked your thumbnail for the video today.
I was going to say, hopefully you got the joke of the whole red breast blind flight. I thought
right. It's the bird box. Yeah. No, that was very cute. That was brilliant.
And we're also they're all the cask strength releases. So it's not just the like 12, 15, whatever. These are all the cask strengths. So like the recent ones, the new ones, the ones that are limited, like the small batch that came out last year. So we got all of them blind. So I've been looking forward to that since I bought all these bottles. So glad we get to do it.
That'll be fun. I'm excited. It'll be great. Hey, Jim Morris. Good to see you. Thank you for coming in. I know, right? We're all getting old. Yeah. And Jason, Mash and Drum, thank you for stopping by.
Jason.
Kilco, make sure to go subscribe to Kilco as well. Don Nishida, good to see you. Where are you? There you are, Don. Good to see you. In other words, the Claricon is essentially a Rotgut advent calendar. Yeah, more or less. So we exchanged samples for our two little videos tonight. I sent you a bunch of various stuff, some of it from the classic producers of Ireland, some of it, some newer stuff. Some of the newer stuff, some of it sourced, some of it distilled by new distillers. And I'm kind of excited to drink some of these because you were saying you hadn't had any of them.
Right. So I think as much as I love Irish whiskey, I feel like that's the one that I've really dived into the least. I think because most of my friends that have tried to push me away from bourbon have been pushing me towards Scotch. So I feel like I've neglected everything beyond, like the red breast and the spots. But I'm really excited to try a lot of these because a lot of these are names that I'm very familiar with. And some of them you've reviewed on your channel. I've enjoyed watching those reviews. So I'm glad to try them on my end and see how I like them.
Yeah, I'm excited too. And I do want to say, Slancho Gutsa to Cool Running. Go to my gut. All right, so why don't we start out? Let's get to drinking because there's no point in waiting, right? Let's get to drinking.
Yes.
So first one, this is actually something that's new to me. We haven't even reviewed it on the channel. I did have a little sip of it yesterday as part of the long St. Patrick's Day. But this is Fighting 69th Irish Whiskey. So this one is actually named after the Irish American regiment in the Civil War, a regiment that, to my understanding, still exists to this day. Also, 69.
I was going to say, you know what? I was going to wait for the definition of why it's called that before I make a joke, but now they still exist. I'm not going to say anything. So.
I know. Well, here's the great thing about this too. So they're the Fighting 69th. I think they just happened to be the 69th militia of New York. So just randomly happened to be that. But their regimental motto is, and you can't make this stuff up, gentle when stroked, fierce when provoked.
I'm on board with that. That should be my new cheers.
I know, right? It's fantastic. It's amazing.
They knew.
Right. I don't know. Those 1800s people, they didn't have double entendres. It hasn't been invented yet.
They were just straight up with it. Like, you want a 69? Let's do it.
Oh, man. The only thing I will say about this one is that it kind of, on the label, they don't tell you much about it. And I wish they did.
Mm-hmm.
Because what was it? It just says Irish whiskey. It doesn't say a blend or single malt or single pot still. It just says Irish whiskey, so it's probably a blend of malt and grain. But they also don't tell you where they sourced it from, because this is definitely a sourced brand.
Sure.
So,
Mystery.
I'm not entirely sure.
It smells pretty young. Like you said, this one's probably the cheap, like not cheapest, the lowest price of all the ones we're trying tonight.
Yeah, I think this is like $30, 30-ish.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a step above Jameson, basically.
Basically, yeah.
No shame in Jameson. I always keep a bottle, but I'm just saying. Yeah, set my expectations pretty low for this one.
Because I was gonna say it doesn't have like that super minerally young, like super young.
Yeah, really, yeah, not that. Definitely, even though compared to Jameson, when I say young, I don't mean like that. I'm thinking comparatively to like the 12, 15-year stuff that we're gonna try later on.
Oh, hey, David, up the dubs, Bally are clear.
What he said.
Mm-hmm. Good to see you, David. And Donald Rand's Irish Whiskey Yoda.
Mm.
He was on stream yesterday with me. Thank you.
He was all around yesterday. He was in like everyone's chat at least. He's either in their chat or on their stream.
He is crazy, man. He knows more about Irish whiskey than I think anyone I know. The dude's nuts. And I think he's writing a book right now about Irish whiskey. So
very cool.
He's a smart cookie, that Donald Rance.
Oh, actually, I like this one. It smelled a little younger to me, but it's actually. Do you know the proof on that one? It doesn't drink too hot though.
I think it's just 40.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 40% alcohol.
But for 40, I think it has a pretty good viscosity to it.
It's actually not bad. And the nose, you do get a little bit of that young, grainy kind of thing. But you do get a little bit of like an appley kind of fruitiness. The taste is actually pretty damn good, though.
Mm-hmm.
Caramely, sweet, citrus. It's not bad.
Like it almost reminds me a little bit of like like a good Canadian whiskey. It has that caramel kind of note. I had to clarify the good part of that, but you know.
Right. I know. Does Canada? I guess Canada Day would be the like equivalent of St. Patrick's Day for Canada.
I feel like I did something for that was it 2019 or last year? But Peter White, I'm not sure if he's in the chat. He sent me a ton of like Canadian whiskey samples, and it changed my opinion because you know what? I always thought Canadian whiskey, but the stuff they get up there is good. Thankfully, we're starting to get it down here with like the Alberta Premium cask strength, but they make some good stuff.
Yeah. Alberta Premium cask strength, the Lot 40, really good. Really.
Have you tried the Lot 40 cask strength? Because that was one of my favorites that I tried from him.
I haven't gotten.
They don't. It's not out here, so I would assume someone had to send you a sample of that one. But man, that one was one of my favorites when I tried them.
Yeah, no, and Kilco makes a good point. The Canadians hoard all their good stuff.
They are.
Yeah. Yes, David. This is essentially a no distillery sourced blend made for Americans. It very much is. It very, very much.
I'm sure they sell a lot of it because of the name too.
Oh, absolutely. And you can tell they're trying to sell this to Americans because like they've got every single possible Irish symbol like on here. And like it's just got Gaeilge all over it. So it's got Slanchawa and Forhabala and there's a Celtic cross up here and all the little Celtic knot. Like, oh yeah, they definitely know which side their bread is buttered on.
Although I'm surprised it's not like a green, like if they're trying to be in that budget category, you would think it'd be like a green bottle to look a little more like Jameson or something. But I would not think Irish based on just that bottle right there.
That's true. Yeah. They didn't go with the straight up like, yeah, let's rip off Jameson kind of thing.
No, but I dig it. I mean, it's definitely not the most complex thing, but I mean, it's pretty good.
It is not awful. It is not. It's got a little caramel. It's a nice little St. Patrick's Day drunk maker. Sure.
Speaking of which, wasn't our last stream together when we drank all of that bottom shelf stuff? I feel like it was.
Oh my God! Yeah, it was.
Yes. Was there an Irish? I don't think there was an Irish one. Maybe there. No.
No, I think
it was all kind of blended together because like it all kind of tasted the same. So I don't remember. I don't think there was Irish.
Oh, what was it? Because there was a couple. I might be able to look in the barrel real quick and tell you because there was that really weird Glen something. Glen Snot.
Yeah, it was. I think it was a Scotch, but it was like a Total Wine brand. I think we both had that bottle or something.
Yeah.
That was the worst of the night, wasn't it? I think it was our least favorite.
Oh, that was not good. That was not good.
Okay, I will say this one's above everything we tried on that stream.
Oh, easily. That night was not great. I think we had, what was it, R&R, that weird Scotch.
We had Black Velvet. We had a bunch of the crappy American whiskeys that are like bottom. Like now I'm not talking about bottom shelf. I'm talking about literally on the floor of the grocery store. Like they were like that low. Like never heard of the name brands. Most of it was neutral grain spirit mixed with stuff. Yeah. It was not a fun night. I mean, it was a fun night. It was a fantastic night, but it was not a fun
great night. The whiskey was just not great. Yeah. Oh yes, it was Clan Hackaloogie.
Oh, like, you're right. Yes.
Glenn Loogie or Glenn Lugal or something. Yes, Glenn McGregor plus Glenn Loogie.
Glenn Loogie. I remember that. Sugar, you had good memory.
That was it. Yeah, Glenn Logie or Glenn Loogie, however you say that. the one that's definitely not from an actual distillery.
No. It did say product of Scotland, but, I don't know.
Oh, yeah. No, it was clearly a lot of grain whiskey and some source malt.
Yeah.
So should we get into this one? I thought would be kind of fun to do because we did a video like this comparing the old school Cooley Michael Collins, which is no longer made, and the new Sazerac, the slick new Sazerac, the Prediction Michael Collins.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Now, I know nothing about how different these should be. I mean, I know that Cooley is like the original distillery, but don't know much else. So need a little background on these.
Yeah. Why don't we take a drink first, and then I don't like color your perception, and then.
Okay, that's a good point.
And then once you kind of have an idea of what you think of the two, I'll tell you a little bit more about them.
So you said you compared. I must have missed that video. Was it a stream or was it a video?
I think it's a video me and Erica did a while back.
Oh, gotcha. I gotta check that
Although
out.
I thought Erica was going to be on today, but she is currently in a virtual meeting. She has meetings every so often in the evenings. Well, obviously,
if it wraps up early, she can join us for my stream.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I know you guys had different opinions on the red breast because you already reviewed the new one and you did like a side by side. So
yeah, we did. That is true. David says when he goes to Spain, a supermarket news him sells him William Lawson's that's been sitting in a big tub out in the sun for €3.
Oh my.
That sounds amazing, I'm sure.
All right, I got both of them poured here.
Okay. So yeah, whichever one you want to start with. I'll
start with the old. Wow. I know you labeled it old, but is this like a vintage whiskey or is it pretty recent-ish?
This is, when did they start? This particular one, I think probably I got, oh geez. God, I don't even remember. This is old. I mean, this particular one's old because they stopped making it in 2017, 2018.
Okay.
So it's a little bit older. So
yeah,
this is the old school.
Well, I was going to say, it does remind me a lot of times when I have like, especially, I don't know about older Irish whiskey. I haven't had much. By older, I don't mean like age stated. I mean like distilled, in the 90s or whatever. I don't know exactly how that tastes, but it does remind me a lot of like a bourbon from like, early 2000s or whatever, like a Wild Turkey or something. It has like some of that like leather. I always say like a library kind of note, like a old book.
Sure. Yeah.
But it's a little smoky too. Interesting. This is just on the nose. Huh. I don't think I would guess Irish just based off of just smelling this.
Right. I know. It's different. It's different. Yeah. And Donald Rance he's talking about the old Michael Cooley 10-year with the light peat in it. Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say there's definitely some kind of, I don't know if it's peat, but there's definitely smokiness here.
Yeah, I don't remember if the base product is peated, but there's absolutely a little like smoke or like a struck match kind of thing. Yeah.
Interesting, huh? I like it. It's definitely not unlike any Irish I've had before. It's pretty good. So I'll try it side by side. Now the new one you said is Sazerac, right?
The new one is Sazerac.
Okay.
So they took, I think Cooley got bought out by Beam, but Michael Collins as a brand was owned in partnership with somebody else. So they sold that to Sazerac.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is very, very different.
Oh, I know. Isn't it?
This one's like, it has like this is a weird note. Almost like, those like fruit cocktails you used to get like as a kid, like in the syrup.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. A little bit of
that. Like a pear or like a I don't know, like a candied pear.
Right. No, I remember eating a lot of fruit cocktail as a kid, and I never knew there was some pale fruit in there that I still to this day I'm not sure what that fruit was. But it had a very particular taste.
Was it round or was it?
It was like one of the round ones. Because there was like peaches and pineapples and cherries. But then there was one fruit I'm still not 100% sure what it was.
Now that you mention that, I know what you're talking about. Is that the round white one?
Yeah. Was it pear? Was it?
Well, they had pears, but usually pears were chunks. From what
the pears were chunks. Yeah.
Someone solved that conspiracy for us in the chat.
I know, right?
So this one has like, it has a different type of like a smokiness on the nose. It's almost more of like the iodine, like, scotchy kind of peatiness on the nose.
Cohen and Keith Schmidt are saying those were pears.
Maybe they are pears. I don't know. I was a kid.
So I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure. Oh, there were grapes in there though.
There were grapes, but I know what you're talking about though. Yeah.
Yeah. Cheech says, why not like the video? Yes, please. As long as you're here, why not throw us a like? Help out the channel.
On the palate, it's a lot thinner, I think. And none of the smokiness that I thought I was getting on the nose, I don't get it on the palate.
No, I think there is a very light kind of. It's almost like a chemically thing.
Well, I was gonna say like a plastic kind of note. I was trying to think because normally I say burning plastic with certain types of peat. I get kind of that, but it doesn't sound like it's burning. It just smells like plastic.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not bad, but I think if I had to pick between the two, I think the first one's way more interesting. If you don't like smoke, you may not like it, but as someone that's okay with that, I like it.
Oh yeah, I think the original Collins is much more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Also, David is saying he forgives the owners of Michael Collins for naming a craft whiskey after a great Irish hero because an Irish company owns Jefferson. Oh, fair enough. Oh, Patrick, go to Margaret. Thank you, my dude. Yes, that definitely counts as liking this drink.
Super like. So what were you said you were reserving telling me something until after I tasted it. So what were you going to say?
Right. So here's the thing. This is weird. So when it was made at Cooley, the most of what was in this, or a lot of what was in this, was double distilled single malt.
Okay.
And so you do get more earthy and a little bit more smoky, right? But then Sazerac took over the brand, and they're using like a bunch of like stuff I think they got from Middleton, like a bunch of stock that they bought up. So this is a triple distilled, pot still based blend.
It almost has like some cheap Irish, like sort of like the baseline Jameson. I kind of get like a little metallic kind of like twinge in there, or whatever. I get a little bit of that just on this one. I would guess you said they do use Middleton, so I could kind of maybe that's a Middleton kind of note. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
but it's a little
There's
bit
something about the grain whiskey in particular, I think, that Middleton makes, where it has, like, especially when it's young, it tastes super metallic, right? And I don't always hate like a minerally note, but sometimes like it's just like chewing tinfoil. You know? Well,
yeah, because I recently bought one of the Jameson Cask Mates, the IPA one, and I think I prefer the stout one. I've had that one before. It's just this one was on sale for like $6 cheaper. I was like, I like my favorite mixed drink when I'm not drinking whiskey neat is like an Irish whiskey and ginger ale. So I have to have some Jameson or something cheap to go. The IPA one actually works really well in ginger ale. For those of you curious, I'm not even an IPA guy, but I think it works well with that.
I liked the IPA Jameson a lot more than I thought I would.
Yeah, I think the first time I tried it, I was kind of off put because it does have. I mean, there's definitely some of that like hoppy note on the finish of it, but I think when you mix it with something, it works well for me because I'm not a fan of hoppy beer. So
sure, yeah, that's fair. I don't know. I like when an IPA is kind of like that juicy IPA with the grapefruity, citrusy.
Oh man, wait! You know what? I had a blood orange IPA this past weekend, and I really, really liked that one. I think it kind of covered up what I don't like about IPAs. So that is true. When they're fruity, they're good.
Yeah. Robotic, of course you're allowed here. You don't have to be a content creator, but you know how you fix that? You start your own channel. Go out there, make whiskey content.
Everyone else is doing it. Cheech did it. Adriana did it. Bubble Bath Bourbon.
David is saying a new pot still producer to look out for is Drumshambo. Yeah, we have their gin here in the States. I haven't seen any of their whiskey yet, though. So that'll be something to look forward to. Oh, Eric, thank you. I mean, it is what it is.
At least you have whiskey in your background. I don't have whiskey. I just have pretty lights.
Oh yeah, no, but I was saying your lighting is a lot better than mine because
I try to keep it on theme, you know. Yeah. Although this looks a little red, but it's supposed to be the Irish colors.
Like the orange, yeah.
Yeah. I'll adjust my lighting before we start my stream to make it a little more orange.
There you go. So as long as we're talking, we've done a couple things now. Should we get into another new distiller on the Irish scene, which would be Dingle?
Now, Dingle, I hear it mentioned a lot, mainly because the name sticks. I feel like I first heard about it on the Whiskey Tribe and the Whiskey Vault. It was like, is it like one of their favorites or one of their least favorites? Because I feel like they always pull out the Dingle, or is that something else?
I don't know about that.
It may be another word that sounds like Dingle, Dougal.
Yeah, maybe. This particular one is somewhat controversial in the whiskey community.
Ooh,
I know.
Okay.
Bubble Bat just is laughing in the comments just because the name sticks. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. So like David said, Dingle out of County Kerry are doing batches. So this is their fourth batch.
Okay.
And people have different opinions batch to batch. Robert Reese just says maybe Rex talks about his dingo too much.
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, but someone else, Scott Moody said it's one of their favorites. So there we go. And I knew it comes up often. Huh. Interesting. This is still kind of giving me some of those like Canadian kind of notes, like the really caramel, vanilla, sweet. What do you get on it?
See, my first thought is like kind of like some sort of syrup. Maybe not like a maple syrup, but like a fruit infused simple syrup, kind of.
Yeah, I feel like I still want to go back to like the pear or even maybe pineapple. I'm still in the fruit cup.
Sure. Yeah,
I see what you're saying. It's like but it's kind of like an earthy sweetness too.
Yeah. Eric Evanson's asking, how many Irish whiskeys do I have? I have no goddamn idea, man. This shelf right here is Irish whiskey, and then there's some more on the floor over here, and there's some over here too. So, yeah.
You have so much more than I do. I need to step up my game. Well, thankfully, I can figure out my new favorites based on these that you sent. So, appreciate it.
For sure. Whiskey Mountain Adriana says, as long as the Dingles don't have a berry taste.
I'm not getting berry. I'm getting pear, but we'll see. We'll see if I taste it.
I do get a little bit like a pear and kind of a red apple kind of thing.
Yeah, almost like when you said apple, I thought more of like a cinnamon apple or something, like a stewed apple. Is that a thing? A stewed apple? You know those things they used to give you like on TV dinners that were like apples and like applesauce or something? For
a boiled apple kind of.
Yeah. I'm kind of getting some of that now that as soon as you said red apple, I kind of got that.
Yeah.
Oh wow. So Cohen says they're about $90-ish for 4 years. Is that about the price of this one?
Yeah, approximately. Because I don't know what the age on the batch 4 was, but it's not much older than that because they've only been operating for about 5 years. So, also Robotics' new channel is called Drums and Mash and Drams and Drums. Haru.
Please, I can only handle so much. Drums, drams.
I know. I got so confused the other day because I was looking at like my subscriptions and there was somebody drums and the thumbnail looked like mash and drum. But then when I looked at it later, I was like, oh wait, that's Drums and Jam.
Yeah, I mean he's a cool guy. He was on right before. He actually goes on right before us on Thursday nights. So, but yeah, a lot of people were confused, but I think that was kind of already his thing. Like he's an orchestra. So maybe he could do like I don't know flutes and drams. I don't know.
That's cute.
I don't know what he plays. Okay, I tasted it, but I didn't give you. I revisit it.
Gawkin he likes the Dingle Batch 4. He likes it. So. Yeah.
Okay.
I do too. Me too, man.
It's reminiscent of the Cooley one we just tried with that smokiness. It has like that little bit of smokiness on it.
Really? I don't get a lot of that.
You know, maybe I didn't get it on the nose, but I got something similar to that on the taste. Let me try it again.
I guess I will say. I guess I get like that charred oak smell where it's not quite. It's not like smoky, but it's kind of ashy, I guess.
Yeah, well, that's what I almost thought I was getting on the other one. Interesting. Oh, he's a percussionist. Sorry. Okay, well, the drums works then. My bad. Keep the drums. I don't dislike this. I don't know, especially that price point. I don't know if I would be convinced to buy a bottle of it. I'm not loving it, but I do like it.
Yeah, I like it. It's not my favorite. Donald's saying the new batch are probably closer to 6 years old. That's getting a little bit more respectable for Irish whiskey. The thing for me is that it's sherry and port. And this is one of the few like port finished Irish whiskeys I've enjoyed. Maybe because it leans more into the sherry aspect, and I think maybe that's where I get a little bit of that. What do you call it? A little bit of the, what do you call it? Sulfury.
Right.
What's that term?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see. I know what you're talking about. Like, yeah, like the sulfur. Now, this shows up on a lot of like. So I get that a lot on port actually more than sherry.
You think so?
Yeah. I don't. You know what? Especially I've never had it with Irish, so I have no idea how it impacts it. Maybe I'm so inexperienced with like when it comes to like I'm still an American whiskey guy. I'm learning, so I may be misspeaking. I've tried so many amazing scotches that are finished in different various sherry and port finishes, so I may be getting confused.
No, man. Whichever you get, you're right, man. Don't let me bully you into thinking something different.
No, you're probably right. I think it's probably one of the specific sherries, whether it's the PX or the Oloroso. I have definitely got that on one of those. This one I don't normally when you said this is sherry and port cask finished or aged.
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's like I don't know. Maybe just my limited knowledge. I don't pull out as many like red fruits in this one. I still go back towards the pear kind of note on it. But usually with sherry, I get a lot more like raspberry and things like that.
Sure. Yeah. I don't get as much fresh fruit on this and that's why I think I generally like bourbon that's been finished in port, because I think it stands up more to like those big red fruits, and it can spend a little bit more time in the port cask and draw out some of those really fresh.
Oh yeah, I love my favorite is rye finished in port. Obviously, Midwinter's Night Dram, sure. But Foregate just had a new one. It's called Ruby Rye Springs, and it's like Midwinter's Night Dram on steroids. It's like amped up so much, and it's also double the price. So I mean, yeah, you got to justify that. But I really like the latest Foregate.
Yeah, no, I do think my only problem with rye, right, is that what was I going to say about rye? My only problem with rye is that, like, if it gets too port-esque, I get disappointed because I want it to, like, stay a certain amount of rye. With bourbon, I don't worry about that. I'm like, just give me all the port.
Which, other than, like, Angel's Envy, what other bourbons are finished with port? Because I'm trying to rack my brain for it. I can't think of any.
Woodinville?
Oh, that's right. Man, I just love everything Woodinville, so I don't even focus on the port aspect of it. But that's a good point. Actually, I have a bottle. I need to dig that out soon.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what else. Isaac Bowman is another port one.
I haven't tried that one. I see them a lot though.
Yeah, and then I'm trying to think. Those are the two off the top of my head that I can think of.
Gotcha. I need to try more of them because I don't think I've had one. I've had the Angel's Envy. It's Angel's Envy. I'm not the biggest fan of that one, but
yeah. Then there's also the new one, the 1792 version.
That's right, and I've tried that one.
I haven't tried that one yet.
So that was the one where they did like a Chardonnay, a Cabernet, and a port.
Right. Yeah.
I know that for sure. My favorite of those was, you know what? The port was my favorite. So maybe, you know what? Take back everything I said. I like a good port finished bourbon. That one was really good. I like that one a lot.
Gachen is saying he gets a cherry note on the dingle.
You know what? I can pour some more. I can spare a little more dingle in my glass.
Cherry, I don't. Well, now that you say cherry, it does smell like, I will say, like it's got a red fruit pie kind of thing, like a red fruit and syrup.
See, I wonder if I kind of got that cooked apple pie kind of note on the nose. I'm curious if I go back to it, if I get on the taste.
Yeah. I don't know if it's maybe cherry, but
cherry is such a variable, right?
Right.
Like there's a tart cherry, there's the medicinal cough syrup cherry, and there's also like a sweet cherry. So cherry means a lot of things to different people, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, hey, look, it's Patches O'Houlihan. You can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. What am I supposed to get him? Your coach just got crushed by 3 tons of irony Hallmark card. Oh, man.
You said you had a note that actually, like, I keep trying to go back and find it. I know what you said, like a baked red fruit pie kind of note, and it's almost like, to me, it's like almost not just the crust, but like that little burnt layer of the pie filling on the crust. That's like a really specific. But for some reason, when you said that, kind of stuck with me tasting this.
Right. Sure. Bubble Bath is saying, isn't Blood Oath port finished? Is one of the Blood Oaths port finished? I mean,
The last one wasn't the last one cognac finish?
The last one was cognac.
That's the only one I've tried, so I haven't tried the other.
I don't know about the other ones, so you could be right.
Right.
You probably are right. And whiskey, Adrian is asking, what does Arenu Borglofa mean? It literally means rotten stomach review.
It does, because I literally Googled that when I saw that pop up. I was one of the people that I was like, because I noticed it was your logo. I was like, okay, what did you get? My first thought was you got hacked. I was like, oh my god. But then I'm like, okay, and I searched. And then I realized, I was like, oh, that's like, Gaelic or whatever.
Yeah.
Then I searched what it meant, and it literally rotten stomach review. I love it.
Yeah. Should we try a little bit of this guy, Jameson Gold Label?
Yes, tell me about this one. I've had the 18-year Jameson. It's not the same thing, right?
So no, it's not. It's not. This is actually non-age stated.
Okay.
Which, I know people get bent out of shape about, especially with Irish and Scotch. But I gotta say, I think this is one of the best things. Sorry, I'm gonna color your perception here. I think it's one of the best things Jameson has put out.
Okay. Well, I was a big fan of the 18-year one. Yeah. So I'm excited to try this one.
This is actually discontinued now, unfortunately.
Oh, well, thanks.
No. But whatever. No, I want to share it with folks so people get a chance to try it.
Oh, I just mean thanks, because if I love it, I can't buy it.
Oh, sorry about that.
But thank you as well for sending it.
But yeah, so it's mostly still like traditional bourbon and sherry wood, but then the thing that makes this different is it's aged in virgin oak as well.
Ooh.
Yes.
Isn't that also the case with we'll save the Middleton, because I was literally just watching a review with Erica of the Middleton. So
yeah. Oh, that would actually be a perfect one to do after this, because it's the same distillery.
Because I remember you saying that. I was like, oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah. I think the one weird thing about this is it is at 40% alcohol, which, again, I think the Irish do 40. Whatever it is about Irish whiskey, maybe it's because it's buttery and sweeter or whatever. I think they can pull off 40% better than most people.
Let's be honest, bourbon, because I don't think I've had a 40% bourbon that I've like ever wanted to like seek out and buy.
Sure.
I mean, yes, I'm a bit of a proof whore, but I also there are some pretty good 45, 80, 85 to 90 proof bourbons that I like. Also, the nose on this is fantastic. I really like smelling this one.
It's a mix of just a little bit of for me, toasted wood, and then like angel food cake or something like that.
Really sweet. I can see where you're getting the cake from. Now, what was the price on this before it was discontinued?
I think this was sitting just around 100.
Okay.
No, wait. I think I picked this one up for 85.
Okay.
And it sat on the shelf for so long, and I was like, okay, next time I have some money, I'm going to buy that before someone else grabs it.
Right.
Yeah. David is saying, wait till I try to learn the Morhalanak or Morhalnalek tensive verbs. Yeah, my Welga is not that good yet, man. I am not at that point. Things that might happen depending on the circumstances. I'm just happy when I can get the singular versus the plural down. I struggle with English, so there ain't no way I'm trying to learn that. Oh yeah. And also apparently in Europe, Buffalo Trace is 40%. That's kind of sad.
What is it in the States? It's 43? 43?
In the States, it's 45 point something.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah.
I found one more Buffalo Trace from the Advent calendar floating around this from back when. Yeah. So, no, it's just 45%. Yeah, 45%. Okay. Man, I'm a little let down by the palate on this one. You think so? It smells so good. Maybe it's the 40. Maybe it's the 80 proof. I don't know. I love the palate on this one, particularly the finish.
For an 80 proof, I mean, the finish is really, really good. It's really long.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
It's the same as in the States. Okay, well that's nice.
Interesting. Well, I don't know what it is. Not that it's. I don't want to say it's disappointing. I had high expectations based on the nose.
That's true.
Because the nose I was pulling out not only the oak, but I was getting a lot more of like the. You said this uses sherry casks too. I was getting a little bit more of those brighter red fruits on the nose. I don't really get it on the palate, but maybe I just need to spend more time with it.
Yeah. No, the palate does lack that kind of raisiny, dried fruitiness. That's true.
But it's a damn good pour. I mean, I would drink this, any day. It's unlike any Jameson, like the bottom shelf Jameson, which just has that metallic note. None of that there.
Oh, not at all.
Yeah,
not in the least.
Mm-hmm.
Like I get
the more I sip on it, I'm liking it. I just think the one killer point for me is the fact that it's so low proof, and I feel like I want it to be a little spiky. I want a little, extra interesting aspects of it.
Yeah, it lacks a little bit of that pepper. It's got no base.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I know. That's what Adrian was just saying. Yes, I do know that from the Advent calendar. I don't know how that all these bottles didn't get used up. But one day I was like going through our shelves, and there was just a little mini of Buffalo Trace like hidden behind the bottle. I'm gonna be finding these for the next year and a half.
Hey, save it for next year.
Exactly.
I still have a little bit more of the old Cooley. I'm just want to do a little side by side here.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I will say the one thing with like Middleton products is that like when they're super young, they do have kind of metallic bite.
Mm-hmm.
When they get older, like especially depending on the proof, sometimes they run just sweet, which if you like that, that's cool. But if you want some more of like spice and tannic elements, then yeah, it's less.
Oh, so. Going back to the Cooley, I'm really liking it. That the Jameson, I mean, again, don't get me wrong, it's not a bad pour at all. Just not quite my jam, especially at the $80 to $100 price point, and it's discontinued, so it doesn't even matter. So why am I even harping on it?
Yeah. Eric, you're welcome to come on the show sometime. I'd be happy to have you on. And if you want to do Irish whiskey, we could definitely do an Irish whiskey, whatever, Thursday night stream, day stream. Or if you're talking about my professional tasting stuff, you can find us at W Whiskey Experience MKE. But I assume you just mean as like a friendly thing. So.
Oh, how did your thing go yesterday? I know you were doing like a 4-hour stream and then you had to do a professional tasting.
Yeah, that was actually a lot of fun. The only problem was that they didn't get me the kit. Like of what we were tasting, so I kind of had to just do it from memory. Usually when someone hires me, they send me samples of each bottle, like when we do it virtually. Mm-hmm. So I kind of had to play it by memory. But it was
really like said they didn't send them the kit. I'm like, well, what did you just try them and like on camera like, oh, this was nice. I wish you had it.
That would be awful. Hey Jen, good to see you.
Cheers, Jen.
No, but the one time we did one of these virtual tastings, somebody, like the company they hired to send the sample bottles, only sent, they sent half of the people the right bottles. And then for the second half of the people, they split it between like what they were supposed to get and somebody else's tasting, I guess, got mixed in.
Oh wow.
It was not good.
Was it blind or did they look at the bottles like, wait, this isn't what I.
Oh no, we looked at, because I opened the bottles and it was like, okay, I got this, I got that, and then I got, wait, why did I get, it was Milliman Green. I think Milliman Green and some rye whiskey, I think, showed up in the package, and we were supposed to be doing, we were supposed to get 2 scotches or something like that.
Well, I was going to say, if it was like a blind thing, it'd be so confusing. Like, I'm getting a lot of peat, man. This is a peat bomb. And you're over here sipping a rye whiskey and you're like, what the hell?
Oh, that would be so bad. Oh, at least that one wasn't my fault. Like usually we supply the whiskey. So we actually sell bottles to people. But in that case, because it was virtual, they decided to buy from a different site,
Mm.
which is fine. It just then stuff like that happens.
Right.
So why don't we do a little comparison with this baby? As long as we're drinking
Oh yes.
high-end.
I'm so excited to try this.
Okay,
Look at that
and
reveal. Look at that reveal there. Ugh.
yeah, I know. Isn't that lovely? Isn't it lovely? Oh boy, Gotkin. I'm gonna try my best to read this. My whale gut is not this good, man. You're giving me a lot more credit than I deserve, but I'll do my best. All right, so he
The dark
really
silky.
likes
The dark
he
silky.
likes he likes the dark silky from Sleeve League Distillery. And he likes dark silky. I think he's drinking it right now. I'm not sure. Is Imaru Wujal A? Fuck, man. I'm sorry. I got as much as I could.
You did admit what part you weren't good at. And I feel like
You're giving me a lot of credit, though. Thank you. Yeah, no, I really want to try the dark silky.
What is that?
So that's from, is that Connacht? I think that's Connacht. No, Sleeve League. I'm sorry. That's Sleeve League. He already said that. So Sleeve League is one of the newer distilleries. They're doing a couple peated whiskeys.
Okay.
And so a silky is this freaky, it's like a mermaid kind of thing, where it's a woman, or I guess it doesn't have to be a woman, but they're usually women who turn into seals. And then if you can steal their seal skin, you can capture them, because folklore is weird.
I was gonna say, I just need to sit here and like learn all this folklore because I will love it. I freaking love it.
Yeah. So there's a movie called The Secret of Ronanish, which is Ronanish is Seal Island. If you ever want to see a weird movie about freaky seal people.
You know, I've never wanted to until now, but
Exactly.
I'm glad I looked that one up.
There you go. Irish seal people. Now you know. Hey, what's up? What's up, Whiskey?
What's up?
Good to
Probably
see you.
most likely Sam, but also could be Bobby.
Probably Sam. She usually.
Yeah, she was on Perry's stream earlier, so it's probably her.
How you doing? It's good to see you. Been a minute. Hey, Run Rev.
Cheers, Ryan. Talking to him earlier.
Oh, he just killed his bottle.
That's a pretty tough translation. The bottle kill.
Right? Maru Bujal. Okay. Yeah. There we go. He just killed his bottle of dark silky. Thank you. I'm doing my best here, man. Thank you. And Robert Reese says Freaky Seal People is his next band name. That would be a fantastic band name.
You know what? On the nose, these are really similar. Have you done them side by side before?
No, I haven't actually. This would be a good opportunity.
I don't know. I'm definitely getting more like caramel on the Jameson, I think.
Yeah. And there's more fruit on the Middleton. I think. I get more of a tropical fruit, pineapple kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I had to swish it around a bit before I got that, but I got it now, yeah. Now, but this one's also triple the price. It's just $250 you said, or?
Yeah, this one. So this JMO was $80. This one runs between $240 and $280, approximately, depending on your location, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Emily, I'm gonna get the slang now. That's what I gotta work on. Slang and conjugation for sure. And also, thank you for Cheech for helping us talk up.
Cheech is an awesome mod. As soon as I saw him on the stream, I was like, I gotta have him on mine because he's so good at it.
Oh, he's so good. He's awesome. He's fantastic. Robotic says all the tildes the fada. It's called a fada in Irish. So he's just going to say cilantro. Cilantro.
That's me. Southern South Carolinian on here.
Yeah.
I'm excited to dive into this one though. Thank you for getting a sample of this. I know this is pricey, but I appreciate it, man.
Absolutely. Happy to share.
Cheers to you.
Oh, cheers.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's real good.
Yeah. It combines a lot of things that I really like about other Middleton products into one kind of thing.
That finish is still going, man. What do you know the proof on this one?
This is 46.
46. Okay.
46%.
See that little Jameson, that little bit, just bump it up a bit, and I might have been on the same level, but
yeah,
that helps us a ton. Holy crap.
And this is, rather than being a blend, this is single pot still.
Okay.
So it's a little bit thicker in terms of like that spicy bristle.
I'm trying to find out what specifically I love about it. I just think, first of all, it's like super like well-rounded. I mean, I know I said earlier, like I like my whiskeys spiky. That doesn't necessarily mean I want it to be like super oaky or super whatever. Yeah. I appreciate a good well-rounded whiskey, and especially when you're talking about that price point. You kind of got to have that. You don't want something like an oak bomb for $280.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The one thing I will say is I think the nose on this is so beautiful. And I think the finish on it is super beautiful because I get this coconut, tropical fruit, vanilla, oaky thing.
Finish is my favorite part on this, yeah.
Yeah. But the taste itself, like that initial taste, little thin compared to the nose.
Well, that's kind of what I said about the Jameson. It's funny because like you love the Jameson, and I feel like I love this one like flip flop a little bit.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying though. I think it does like as soon as it hits your tongue, isn't super like bold with the flavors, but the finish I think makes up for it.
Well, but now going back to the Jameson, I gotta say, I kind of agree with you compared to the Middleton.
Mm.
Yeah. For sure. Cohen, is it sad, or should you just realign your values and buy more Middleton? I don't know. It's up to you.
I'm still like kind of hung up on that because like I've just been a bourbon guy for so long, and now that I'm finally getting into expensive scotches and now apparently it's expensive Irish, I'm like, your expensive is completely different than expensive bourbon. Expensive bourbon is like what, like 180-ish max.
Oh, yeah.
But like that's like entry level expensive scotch. So
it's true. That's what I was telling.
Have you seen the new Glendronach cast that came out? That were just recently announced.
Yeah, the new single stuff.
So they actually, for some reason, they sent me some samples of that. So really? I'm gonna have them on my channel on April 1st. I know it's not an April Fool's joke. I feel like it is. I'm like, what the hell are they doing? I've never even had their product before. Somehow I got on their PR list.
Really? Well, that's cool.
I didn't sign up for it. I don't know what happened. But anyway, somehow I was on the list. But so that's a thing that's gonna happen. Yeah. Thankfully I have a friend that's like a huge fan of their distillery. So he and I are gonna like pregame like the week before. He's like, okay, this is their basic stuff. This is their like mid-range stuff. So I'm like, okay, gotta get familiar with the brand.
Yeah, you gotta lean on them. Tell them they gotta send me some stuff.
I literally just almost jokingly responded to the email because I got the press release, but it was like personalized in a weird way. Like, how you can tell some things are like personalized, but not really personalized.
Yeah.
This was like, hey, Clifton, how are you doing today? I was like, oh, this is weird. I'm like, great. I have a bourbon channel, but I would love to try this. And they're like, sure, here's some samples on your way. I was like, oh my God. So,
cool. That's awesome.
I'll forward you the email if you want to reach out if they still got some left for sure.
Sure. I might as well. I mean, if you don't mind, I might as well.
Yeah, I'll forward it to you after.
I'm trying to get some Glendronach. I'm not gonna lie.
I have a friend that bought 2 of their bottles this morning because my store just got them in stock and they sold like instantly.
Right. Oh yeah. Well, and that's something as Sure Kitty was saying, 30 to 40-year-old scotch will deplete your millions quickly. Yeah, it is gotten a little crazy. And that was something I was saying to a client was like, if you want to do an economical tasting, you want to get something good for a reasonable amount of money, go bourbon or rye.
Yeah.
Don't
not to the discredit of bourbon and rye. You can get some fantastic stuff for
way
less than that.
Exactly. Like you can buy, like I was saying to him, like getting into 60, like you got to get into the 60s, 70s to get into like the quote unquote good scotches.
Mm-hmm.
With bourbon, $30 to $40.
30 to 40 is always like the good entry. It's like entry level, but it's also like the good entry level, you know?
Right. Exactly. When Adriana says I'm going to open the samples, it's just going to be doers.
You know what? They were the one that suggested the April 1st date. So watch the bitches freaking trolling me. Haven't tried them yet, so we'll see. We'll see.
Man. That's funny.
You got to plan something because April 1st is on a Thursday, so you gotta think of something for your channel.
Oh, I should. I'm sure I'll come up with something trolly and douchey to do. I always do. Erin go brach, or anglicized Erin go bra, means Ireland forever, or long live Ireland. Yeah.
Oh man, this Middleton's absolutely hands down my favorite thing I've tried tonight.
Yeah,
probably one of my favorite Irish.
Really, really good.
One of my favorite Irish whiskeys. I've had some of the higher age redbreasts, like the 21 and 27. Personally, for my palate, I prefer this over both of those. It's my palate. I think Irish, when it gets that old, it has like a weird kind of funkiness to it that I don't love. I tried a sample of the 27. I have a bottle of the 21. I prefer this.
Yeah,
that's with me. But
I agree with you, and I've said this before. And well, I guess we'll see what happens on your stream tonight if I look like an idiot. But I've always said that at some point, I think redbreast gets weirdly oaky and in a way I don't like. Like, it doesn't get tannic, like bitter, in the same way that a super old bourbon does.
Is it like a sour oakiness? Like it gets sour?
Yeah.
Because that's what I think those are too. And the 15 is borderline. Sometimes the 15, I get like a little hint of that. I'm like, this is almost to that point. But once I jump to the 21, definitely the 27. Yeah. I'm very thankful with my friend to send me a sample of that because, I mean, it's a freaking $500 whiskey. But it's not my jam. Yeah.
Oh, no, for sure. The one older redbreast I had that I liked was the Dream Cask, but I feel like you can't.
Well, I haven't had that one, so
yeah, you can't actually really even consider that in the running. It's a whole different fucking thing, for sure. So,
well, do you want to tee them up for what we're doing on our channel, on my channel?
Yes, let's promote that. Let's talk that up real quick because we've got a bunch of samples.
Yes, we are doing all of the cask strength redbreast releases. Now that's not including. I think the 27 is technically cask strength, so not including that one. But I'm talking about the old 12, the new 12, the new non-age dated small batch, and the limited edition 14-year-old small batch that hit certain markets. I was fortunate enough to get one of those, so we're doing them all blind over on my channel right after this stream. So Cheech, you're the man. You gotta post. If you post a link, that would be highly appreciated. I almost said you gotta do it. I'm like, oh no, that sounds bad. I don't mean you don't gotta do it, but if you Cheech is awesome.
Yeah. So yes, Cheech, if you would not mind, please throw up that thing, and also make sure to go subscribe to Cheech's new channel too as well. Whiskey Encore, Whiskey Mountains. Go subscribe. I know Kilco was in here. Bubble Bath, you gotta go subscribe to Bubble Bath. Do me a favor, subscribe to Bubble Bath. He just sent me a bunch of samples, so we're gonna be doing a stream sooner rather than later. Anybody else who's got a channel, go subscribe. Subscribe to everybody.
I love all the new channels popping up. It just makes me so excited to see fresh faces. Yes, it's kind of crowded.
It's going to look crowded.
We're that too. We're doubling up on someone at some point. There's no way to avoid it. But you know what? Hopefully you guys are enjoying watching, and you're enjoying watching part 2 on my channel. Yeah, absolutely. And with that, we're going to say goodnight because we got to get over there. I'm going to do a little blend. Ooh, I did not save enough to do it. I mean, I saved the bottles, but I'm not gonna. I'll revisit these another
time. Feel free not to. That's totally
I'm gonna sip on my Middleton and be happy.
I'm going to do a little blend of all these Irish whiskeys, so I can say, go the fuck over to Bourbon Bytes right the fuck now, because we're ending here. Until next time, which will be in 2 minutes. Stay rotten.
Cheers.